to see steals anymore.
Well, I mean, if there's no smite in range, then you do get some different things. It's okay. First pick goes over to BNK this time around. They opted for second pick last time. So this time they will at least have first pick on the red side. And we'll see what they can make of it.
We'll see how things pan out here. I think, honestly, we talked about the draft a lot. I think the early game went good for them. I think the draft was very playable. They just came down to some clutch moments. I will say, I feel like the fact they went second pick and then didn't really give Clear a matchup that he had an advantage in, I feel like that was a bit wasteful.
A little bit of a flub.
Yeah. Like, it's not like Keen necessarily, like, he picked Renekton to Xante and then had a slight lead. But I feel like Keen just does Keen. Keen is just keen on doing good.
He is.
So I feel like shutting him down would be a better use of your draft. But we'll see how that pans out. This is very similar to what we had banned last time. Different arrangement, but we have Vi banned instead of Xin Zhao. And now Orianna going to come through.
Yeah, Orianna is not actually paired alongside an Azir availability as well this time around, as they elected not to go towards this pick. So we'll have to see what Chovy's answer for it is going to be. Still plenty of things that he can go towards, but we'll just have to see what he decides to utilize this time. Could just be a Rise. Haven't really seen Rise into Orianna all that much. No, you do get outranged just a little bit, but we will have to just wait and see what Chovy does have in store for us. As Xin Zhao was banned away in the last game and is available this time.
Rise is open, right?
It is.
So you could definitely just go towards that. Tilia also an option.
You could also just take Nocturne, Twisted Fate. But instead they're going to lock in Xin Zhao.
Something you could do.
Yeah. Probably not a good thing, but it's two global abilities, Fox, which is kind of fun.
I mean, that's the thing is Xin Zhao is going to get taken away, which would have synced well with the Orianna. But you can just go the Nocturne. We'll see if Chovy does just pick up the Rise or goes in a different direction here. And he will just pick up the Rise. So we've seen this have a lot of priority on it since the Actualizer has come in. I will say one thing is that you're quite bulky as the Rise, but the fact that like the build path feels kind of, you know, you go Roa, Seraphs, Actualizer, it feels like you're losing a lot of power if you're slotting Zhonya's in before that.
Yeah, true.
And if you don't, then Zhonya's coming very late. And if you are playing into an Orianna, Ambessa, maybe a Nocturne as well, then you are vulnerable as a sort of shorter range mage. So definitely something to think about.
Yeah.
Ambessa coming through for Clear, pick we've seen have a lot of success, honestly, and doesn't have to deal with Renekton.
And also is a flex, so it keeps things a bit ambiguous.
Can go in the jungle as well. So I think with that in mind, could just leave top/jungle, whatever's you're going to pick otherwise, and then keep that ambiguous here. And they are going to go for the Ezreal.
Ezreal without anything else paired alongside it just yet. So likely the Karma will be banned away to avoid having that sort of like win lane, win game type mentality available.
Yeah, and I still think there's a lot of good things you can pair with it. You know, you have the Karma, you have the Braum, you have the Bard, you have Rakan, all perfectly fine pairings. When going to come through?
Interesting.
So this is a matchup that we tend to see, you know, last year Ambessa was doing pretty good into, especially early on. But Keen feeling confident.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, it's still a flex Ambessa, but that means it can go top.
And I don't know whether there's all that many better options into the Gwen. I think a lot of people are pretty happy to take the Ambessa into that one. So likely to be putting Clear in that direction.
Yeah. I mean, Jax, they're going to ban, so that is something you could play into. Akali is a big one, but that was obviously taken away by Fearless.
Yep.
So we'll see if they end up in another ban towards what could potentially go top lane. Or maybe they do want to ban the Karma, like you suggested. I think for BNK FEARX, could look maybe to target the bot lane if you're worried about something Ruler might pick up here.
Yeah, and BNK are sort of lacking in the engage department, so might be needing some of that from their support position. So Kellen might be sort of priced in to playing something like a Leona or a Rel or something like that instead.
Yeah, you definitely want setup for the Orianna. Like, you could end up going like a Nocturne or something, which would kind of solve some of those issues. But yeah, I feel like definitely with how Callum plays, wouldn't be surprised if they just slammed an engage support for him. Yeah, they will ban out the Aurora, so, you know, concerned that they could pick that in the top lane. Obviously, something Keen has played a lot in the top lane.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's one of those things, if you know it's something you would play into Gwen, then maybe concerned that the opposition would do it themselves.
Maybe some scrimbucks as well, as of course Ryu is the coach, so might know something about what Clear has put some time into. As Poppy going to be the final ban here on the side of BNK. Now, what is Gen.G going to be locking in before we see the full draft of the BNK FEARX? Jin here for Ruler. Not my favorite.
Yeah, we know how you feel about Jin.
Yeah. I did feel better about it towards the end of last year.
Yeah.
A little bit.
How do you feel
Didn't
about
hate
it
it
right
as
now?
Not good. Not a fan. Not feeling very happy about it. That's a Kiana. Raptor, I don't know. I don't know about it. It didn't work for Lucid, and let's see whether it works for you. I mean, right now, I could like look at everyone on this team outside of the Jin. I feel like they're just a little bit. They have too much health. I think you just die, don't you?
I mean, they are pretty short ranged.
Yes.
I feel like this is very much. It's seen a lot of success in LPL. Seen a lot of success in.
We've been saying that forever, though. We're in the LCK. It does not work here.
Well, Raptor's trying to shake. He's trying to prove this wrong. And we'll see.
It's the perfect week. Okay, we need the perfect. BNK needs to win this game. How are they supposed to do it with a Kiana? Oh my goodness. Okay, Rakan. I'm sorry about the bias, ladies and gentlemen, but I just really want the perfect week. All right, Rakan going to be locked in. Duro going to be able to help out with a lot of the engage here. The double circles on the top side of the map for Gen.G is going to be very scary. And then the Realm Warp to get Chovy into the fight if he needs to be there. I think BNK, certainly a lot of options, right? And if you do get Supreme Display of Talent as well as that Shockwave lined up, Solar Flare to then hold them in position, True Shot Barrage over the top, there's a lot of wombo combo for the BNK FEARX boys, but if you don't land all of that stuff, Kiana dies in 2 hits to anyone, and it can be really problematic.
Yeah, it's a little bit worrying. I feel like a lot of solo queue at the moment, particularly this year, has been about these, you know, lethality champions in particular. There's a lot of new lethality items that have been very popular. You know, you get good momentum in the jungle, you get the extra movement speed from the quest, kind of clearing so quickly. You know, we've seen things like Talon, Kha'Zix, Zed be very popular. And it obviously hasn't bled through into the LCK, into this sort of pro that we see. But you know these players want to do it. And Raptor's going to try and make it work. I think this is a hard composition to do it into because, as you said, you are liable just to get exploded. So this is truly a test to if you can make it work. You have a lot of playmaking tools, but the burden of execution is high.
It is. Vikla has made this Orianna work in the past, though. Let's see whether it works this time around up against Gen.G in game number 2. Oh, top laners finding one another. Clear doing the most damage in the game thus far. Never mind. Diablo doing the most damage in the game thus far. Hang on a sec. Vikla doing the most damage in the game. They're all doing similar damage in the game so far. Take it away, Orcs.
Yeah, that's the analysis that we need. You know, that's the sort of stuff I would just talk about. So you've kind of taken my...
I got a little carried away.
Yeah, I'd appreciate if you wouldn't do that because now I'm at a loss. What do I want to talk about?
Why don't we talk about where BNK and Gen.G have lane control?
Well, I'm interested to see this top lane matchup because we've seen it very favored towards the Ambessa like last year, and it's been, you know, we've often seen the Ambessa picked in the Gwen or Gwen banned away. Sorry, Ambessa banned away when you want to go the Gwen. But there is this kind of this tendency that we've seen from some of our top laners to just ignore matchups.
Yeah, and also we have seen Gwen pick into Ambessa quite a bit so far this tournament, which is kind of strange. Clear right now is making it look like Ambessa is okay in the matchup.
Yeah, Keen is trying to trade. He was level 1 into level 2. It's a little scary.
Keen's not scared, though. He is not the kind of man who would give in to fear.
Yeah, maybe should have been a little scared there, but we'll see.
fear is often useful to stop us from doing things that would put us in danger.
There's definitely some players in the LCK who I think could use a bit more fear.
I would agree.
Maybe Kanavi.
Yeah, I was going to say there was someone playing in the last series. I think everyone knows exactly who we're talking about. It's Chovy going to find a bit of damage onto Vikla here. He does get the phase rush, but so does Chovy.
Yep. Clay going for a little bit of a deep ward here.
And Keen is going to be able to pick up the majority of these minions.
Yeah, I think bot lane as well. Ruler's gone for the cleanse, makes sense into Leona. But it means that with Diablo having the barrier, I mean, it's already a really strong 2v2 with the Leona Ezreal. The power they have, if you land the engage and you have the burst from the Ezreal, combined with the fact that you have barrier into cleanse, just means you're really on the back foot, you know? Especially Rakan. I think Rakan is kind of uncomfortable into AD carries with a dash. Because you try and land the W to peel, like if they're going in, you W to peel, they can just dash over it, or even just flash over it to commit to the kill. So, Rule and Duro just playing it a bit defensively. In the last game as well, they were on the back foot a bit, so...
Ooh, bit of damage there from Vikla towards Chovy, but I think took some in kind. So both of our mid laners are probably looking for a bit of a back, and as you can see, Minion Wave is going to meet once again. Chovy just wandering back because, of course, doesn't have teleport. Vikla can teleport back in, which is likely what he's going to do right now. Refillable now complete.
Keen found a good angle to TP back in here.
Oh, there is the grand entrance to stop the engage here from Kellen, but Diablo still able to get that damage down. A lot of summoner spells used. Shield of Daybreak denied by the cleanse, but that is a longer cooldown. And so just the heal invested here from BNK. Still barrier there for Diablo.
That was a nice grand entrance though from Duro to kind of stall Kellen out, but you saw how committed Kellen was to like, I'm getting that cleanse, I'm getting that cooldown. And now with the fact that he still has flash available, you know, you can E-flash on Leona, and it's pretty hard to pre-flash that as an AD carry, so Ruler definitely has to be careful.
Yep. See whether he can, as good little block there. As Ruler is not going to be able to stop Diablo from going back home. Does make it there. And Kellen is going to have to wait a little bit longer. Clear was thinking about going for a reset, as he still hasn't gone back to base just yet.
Yeah, so Keen's playing this lane really well, because he managed to get his recall in and TP back, and he's kind of just trapping Clear in the lane. And any advantages Clear would have for the matchup are kind of being nullified from the fact that Keen got to back, got to buy a refillable, got to buy a Dark Seal, and so is just stronger than he should be. And now he's going to be able to get a reset off again. So I think this is kind of indicative of how, you know, Mastery...
Ruler unfortunately walking a little bit too far up. Doesn't have cleanse anymore because he has to flash to get out of the way. There's a grand entrance though, as in the meantime, there's Canyon finding the angle into the mid lane and takes down Vikla. Nothing he can do about that, and Chovy off to a great start. Now picking up the assist in lane and will be able to get rid of that entire minion wave.
Yeah, point and click CC, hard to play against from the Rise.
Oh, in goes Kellen one more time. As remember, not a lot of summoner spells left available here, only Duro's flash towards the bottom side, but Canyon's moving in. Diablo gets the information.
Yeah, will be spotted. Good scouting there. But yeah, Ruler just kind of walked up there, didn't expect Kellen to be there, and so ends up losing his flash as well. No flash, no cleanse. You are super scared as the Jhin here. And this is giving the confidence for Raptor just to start off this dragon. Smites early to help speed it up.
Yep, had a couple of charges, so should have access to that smite again. And hopefully holds on to it this time so that he doesn't get Wind Becomes Lightning stolen. As Diablo, wanting to take down Ruler here, I believe took a turret shot, but avoided the deadly flourish.
Yeah, I think he can play with so much confidence in this 2v2 because he has that barrier backup. We'll see this replay. Vikla already chunked out a decent amount. And yeah, it's just the root connects, and it's like, I think all Vikla can do is just flash a little bit sooner before the root comes in, but...
I think even then may have been dead. It's a tough one to keep up with. 400 gold now the lead for just Chovy, and Canyon with a bit of an advantage as well, even though Raptor is farming this one out quite nicely. Cheeky little pickaxe has been completed so far, but does want to get to that Propane Hydra as quickly as possible, as Kellen is going to move up this mid lane to help get the shove. And so far, Gen.G with an 800 gold lead. Feeling like things are working like clockwork this time around. Less funny business in this game, which makes me a little sad as some needlework comes out. Clear, level 7, so does have the ulti if he wants to try and catch Kane. But he's not going to be using it. Now just looking for a reset. We'll be able to go back home. Can Diablo get the cannon? I believe yes, as Mystic Shot is one heck of an ability. That's going to allow him to pick that one up and stay ahead by just a little, as Gleaming Quill just barely goes wide.
I think, again, we're having a game a little bit slower in terms of pace in the early laning phase. I feel that's kind of just become how games are going for the most part, unless one team makes a big flub.
Yep.
But that early kill for Gen.G definitely going to be advantageous. And still looking to see what Raptor can do on this Kiana. Just have the ult available now. I would like to see something happen bot lane, but Ruler's Cleanse is coming up again.
Yeah, Dura actually taking a fair bit of damage there as, oh, Kellen not quite able to follow with that
Kellen
Zenith
does
Blade.
now have the ult. Chovy's flash is also down, so I feel like that's definitely someone you could attack as well.
True. Well, Kellen was thinking about going for a little bit of a combo there, but Gleaming Quill going to connect. Dura looking okay for now.
You can see Kellen like kind of thought, wait, Dura's playing so aggressive. Is someone here? You know, put a ward down, get some vision set up. Canyon is somewhat near, but not actually moving towards the bot side of the map.
And this lane is very close for now. Clear and keen, just making sure that they keep each other in check. Chovy and Canyon might be coming up to say that actually, no, it's not very fair, but instead some grubs are going to distract Canyon for now. Solar Flare doesn't find any joy at all. Battle Dance, able to get Dura out of the way, as in he goes once again. Kellen's in range of the turret though, and so does need to be careful. Still going to be surviving, but it's also that Raptor can get down here.
Yeah, they wanted the cleanse so they can go for this play with that. I'll have that, but now he's going to ult the wave.
Yeah, Curtain Call comes in. Diablo looking to try and block this as he does bring those minions in. Can Raptor make this one work as Chovy's trying to get on down? There's the flash forward. Sprint display Kellen around the turret. And down they will go. Kellen tanks it up perfectly. And that is a clean dive for BNK.
That was huge. You know, Chovy was moving down with the Realm Warp, even Ghosted to try and get there quicker, but they just make the dive so perfectly played. Kellen making sure the cleanse wasn't there meant they could pull that off. And honestly, Raptor landing the ult around the turret to get both of them, that is exactly what you want. First play from the Kiana going 100% perfectly.
Yeah, also got one of the kills as well. And you do want a snowball as this champion to stay relevant. Let's have a look at it one more time. And yeah, oftentimes when the Supreme Display of Talent is this small, you're like, oh, not exactly the best value, but still connected on both of the targets.
Yeah, so they not only have to make this work, Chovy is gunning it. He ghosted and he was running down. They really did not have much time, and they had to exit and run back down the lane, otherwise he could have cut them off. So they managed to get out safely, and there's no counter punch, no counter play. That's the thing that feels even better, is when the other team starts to move to counteract the play and don't make it in time, because they're just wasting their time.
Yeah, exactly. It's almost like a compounding effect.
Yeah.
And 900 gold is going to be the lead here for BNK. Remember, ladies and gentlemen, the perfect day, the perfect week is on the table. See whether we can make it to 6 once again. As tomorrow, it's looking like, the telecom wall could go all the way. There are some opportunities here as now Keen with some needlework underneath the turret. There's another one, though. Raptor is addicted to hitting turrets with his ultimate. Okay. And it's working.
Chovy moving up. Has the Realm Warp.
I believe Raptor may be dead, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, he is going to be taken down. That's 544 gold going over to Chovy.
I did not see the outplay potential.
Yes, I did not quite see it either.
Yeah, Chovy, obviously missed out on the previous play. This one he was determined to show up and make things happen, but is losing out on a little bit of tower damage here in the mid lane.
Wave going to be taken out there as well as Dura tagged by this Mystic Shot. Diablo looking for some angles. Still doesn't have his first item complete. We'll have it coming pretty soon. That is going to mean that this Ezreal is going to be pretty strong. As Dura can't take too many more of these Qs. As Canyon looking to get that knock up onto Kellen. He does have the Solar Flare, connects it, and actually lasts a long time with the help of the Eclipse, but Wind becomes lightning, enough to take him down. And True Shot Barrage sails by elegantly, but it's not going to do too much across the other side of the map. So nice little pick off here from Gen.G. They should now be able to turn this into a dragon of their own.
Yeah, also well played there by Duro for dodging out of the True Shot Barrage, because he was the one who was low HP. I think Callum was kind of looking for maybe a return kill there. Raptor fishing for something, but
doesn't have ulti, so not quite going to be able to do anything here as Diablo lacking mana, but does have a tier stacked up relatively high, so deceptively able to use a lot of buttons.
I think Raptor's just fishing for fish. That's why he's in the river. So, got it. Won't find anything there. And now Clear has the Eclipse. Big spike for the Ambassador. So Keen who doesn't even have his first time completed, definitely has to be wary. Now they are looking for Chovy. No flash, remember.
Yeah.
Oh, that was a flash from Diablo and Barrier. So I think Ruler ulted.
Yeah, and Diablo took the majority of his health bar. As Raptor throws out a cheeky Q. There is a Trinity Force done for Diablo, but having his summoner spells just all used means that the power of this item spike feels a lot less dangerous.
It's not ideal. We've seen Clear gain a decent amount of ground in this matchup. You know, Keen was obviously
2 levels ahead.
Yeah, I mean, Keen is about to hit level 10, but you know, we said the early game was going pretty good for Keen, but Clear's definitely started finding some momentum now.
Yeah, I feel like Keen has sort of been zoned out or something like that. Hasn't finished the quest just yet. And Clear has had his done for a little while.
I mean, that's the thing, you know, finishing the quest slate has a compounding effect, but also the quest gives that big burst of XP immediately.
Ah, true. So when he does finish it, it's likely that he catches up just a little bit. That is a good point, but he's not going to complete it if he's dead. And that is what BNK are looking to try and make happen right now.
So
just completes it now.
Oh, no.
Oh, dear. Xenoblade barely misses onto Keen, though.
Question is, can you make this happen before Gen.G come over?
Well, Canyon already here. There is the Solar Flare, and he gets in there. Supreme Display of Talent comes down, but Canyon is in position. Flash out there from Raptor, gets out of the way of the turret, is now clear, needs to try and save Raptor and Kellen. Kellen already down as the rest of Gen.G make their way forward. Duro with the quickness is there, but now Vikla turns up and brings the orb to protect his Ambassador. The 2-for-2 trade in the end. Kind of okay here for Gen.G as it was BNK going for that play.
Yep, able to mitigate it, able to turn it around. You know, Keen obviously gets punished under the tower, but...
Oh dear, yeah, Vikla in a lot of trouble now. As Shockwave onto only Duro, as Vikla just doing his very best. Does have to flash, but does at least have it to avoid death.
And the 80 carries are just continuing to 1v1 in the bot lane.
Just fighting one another, as I believe Ruler does have a Ghost Blade to build, so did want to go back to base. As we'll check this one out one more time.
They land all the CC, but Canyon able to get on them before they leave the tower, slow them down. Able to kill Kellen here, and then the rest of the backup comes in. Raptor's trying to get to the brush to stall the time, but just immediately blown up.
And Chovy is just, he's been cleanup crew in this game, and he has a gigantic advantage in that mid lane, 1.1k. Same can be said for Clear on the top side of the map though, as Keen has been relatively bullied in this one. And so BNK probably still pretty happy with the state of the game right now. It's a Chemtech Soul, Orcs, Sustry.
Oh.
I need you to, you know, work on this.
Yeah,
okay,
sorry.
That's our second of the day. You know, you get a pass for the first, but the second one, that's when we start to get suspicious. All right?
You know, if we are going to have the perfect week, we're going to have more games per day, which increases the odds.
Well, no. It increases the need for you to pay attention, okay? As, all right, Raptor going in. King could be in trouble once again. He's going to flash to get himself out of the way as now Kellen finds himself in trouble as Canyon looks to turn it, and it's Ruler that takes the kill with his deadly flourish. Supreme Display of Talent not quite doing enough, but is going to be able to peel, and Raptor slinks away with barely any health. Let's see whether Raptor can snipe something. It looks like he's not going to be able to. Doesn't have Curtain Call and is out of range of the Deadly Flourish this time as Diablo moves over to his favorite 1v1 that will continue.
I feel like Canyon's just such a menace in these fights because so much of BNK FEARX is about that big engage. And he's just kind of getting stuck into these fights and just, they don't really have the tools to deal with him right now with that Sundered Sky. You see here, they kind of opt into a fight that they're not really keen on taking. Trying to ult Keen himself, and Canyon just jumps in and is like, okay, you don't have any way of dealing with me easily. Has the ult still to block all the damage from Diablo, and then BNK FEARX have to run away. Raptor just surviving. Yeah, and the double circles, man. The Crescent Guard and the Mist. It's just so difficult to do damage to these top two Gen.G players. I know they've killed Keen a couple of times, but it's going to get more and more frustrating as this game goes on, especially for Vikla to get anything done. Solar Flare, not going to be a good enough engage if you can just press W and be okay if you're the Gwen. So it could be a rough time as Duro, Celestial Opposition is going to pop momentarily. It looks like Rift Herald just going to be secured here by Gen.G. No real options for BNK. It's Ruler taking a little bit of damage, but should be all right underneath this turret, even if it is relatively low. Canyon makes his way in. The orb goes down from Vikla. Gen.G will be stymied for the moment. Rift Herald going to be thrown down into this mid lane to make sure that they have some control of this river.
As Duro looking a little worse for wear. Raptor with that ulti back up yet again. All right, there's the snare as now Canyon looks to try and turn it onto Kellen. Does get the heal out though, and now they're looking for Diablo. Has that Crescent Guard running, but it is going to wear off. They're going to eat that Honey Fruit for the extra movement speed. BNK, once again, do retain some control. So Shelly not exactly doing what she's supposed to completely. Gen.G will now have to try and figure out what they want to do to stop this dragon from going down, or just give it up and look for something else.
Yeah, Chovy moves up towards the top side. Actually, Realm Warp's there, so it seems they're not... Oh!
All right, Diablo trying to get it out of the way, and the quickness is going to come on through, but the tower is just dead. So that is the prize here for BNK. That's first of the game as well.
Bin from Gen.G, Ruler bidding flash there to back away. We'll see a plate picked up there by Chovy, but I think BNK FEARX happy with how that turned out. Getting Dragon as well.
Yeah, teleport in from Vikla to stop this outer turret in the top lane from going down. Still, Chovy 1.3k the advantage, and is looking very scary. BNK thinking about trying to go for a kill there. Not going to find it just yet, is now clear. Fighting against Keen and still feeling pretty good in this matchup. Hex Drinker now just to help out. No matter who he's going to be laning against out of these solo lanes, still going to be very happy with that defensive choice.
You know, this game just still very even, but I just feel so concerned because a lot of the gold is on Chovy. He is very strong.
Yeah.
And there is just that Gwen, which even though she's behind, it's just, you know, any game that has a Gwen is just always a little bit concerning about what that champion can do later on.
Yeah, and I think it was, which Worlds was it? Or was it MSI? Might have been MSI.
MSI.
Yeah, Bin versus Zeus.
Yeah, that was the one.
Gets me every time. I struggle with Gwen. She's just brings up the bad memories. So, Keen, going to see whether he can trigger some of that as this game goes on. But right now, clear 2-0-1, actually having a very good time on the Ambessa. And she is also a very scary champion. He can get some snipes onto Ruler potentially in the backline, right? He's not really allowed to curtain call if he's able to see an Ambessa, you know? So there are certainly angles for BNK to play this game out. Right now, Gen.G looking for Vikla, but there's the dissonance as Supreme Display of Talent does go down, but Canyon, Crescent Guard, one heck of an ability.
Yeah, I mean, it's a decent amount of damage on a Chovy, but he's quite bulky, so it's like you're not going to kill him.
Yeah.
Maybe like a Shockwave follow-up, but you still need a bit more than that as well. I think that's one of the advantages of this top side of Gen.G. Against a base decomposition, you just are bulky enough to withstand that initial fire that comes out.
Yeah, the opening salvo, as it were. Canyon now moving towards his bottom side as Kellen and Clear will be able to take out this turret. The flash forward there from Kellen. Solar Flare is going to connect as into the mist they go, but Canyon shows up at exactly the right time. Keen now trying to turn this as he has the needlework to get that health bar back up again. And the Realm Warp from Chovy to deliver him in. And now Raptor is going to show up. Kellen is likely to go down, but there is the public execution. True Shot Barrage is avoided by Chovy and Canyon beautifully. And now Duro with the quickness just says, sit down, and Chovy will take him out.
Huge turnaround there from Gen.G, and BNK FEARX, you know, they committed to the play initially, but you could see they thought this is not a good idea, and they started to regret it, and as more and more members joined in.
Oh dear, Mega Cone going to be able to get Vikla, and never mind, it doesn't get him out of there. The bullets rain true, and Ruler just hits everything there with that curtain call.
And that's 4 members from BNK FEARX dying.
That might have just been game.
Yeah.
Just that play. Because now Gen.G can move that to this tower in the bottom lane. Top outer turret as well. Baron's on the map. And now BNK getting control again is going to be so incredibly rough. Plus they have a composition that relies on being ahead. There's a Kiana. And there shouldn't be, Orcs. I want to reiterate that.
They'll keep doing it.
I know they will.
Yeah, so here, like, they commit to the play, and then it just feels like they quickly realize, oh, Canyon say we should back off. But I think if they just killed Keen, at least they would have gotten something out of it. And then they're like, oh, we have to back away. Okay. Oh, we really have to back away. And then they're like, oh, we can't get out, let's just fight then. But it's like, I think if they just committed onto the Gwen,
yeah,
they would have traded, they would have lost 2 people, and they could have killed the Gwen. So it would have been a 1-for-2 trade.
And also, like, if Clear had of that, like, when Keen moved away and the Realm Warp came in, as soon as he sees the Realm Warp, just public execution the Gwen.
I mean, I feel like you should just gone for earlier than that.
Yeah,
I think at some point, just say, okay, we overstepped, we'll get 1 kill, we both die, 1-for-2, it's not the end of the world. But instead, you lose 4 members
We're hindsighting anyway.
I mean, we are hindsighting, but also it's like, it just felt so, like you already committed the flash from Kellen, right?
Yeah.
Like commit to the play or
oh dear.
Don't flash in like that.
There's a Realm Warp. Vikler is likely to die, and he will be taken out. What more can they get? That is going to be the question, though, as he survives a little longer than I would have expected.
Yeah.
Here on the top side of the map, Clear is still doing some good work, but he's not going to be helping with this dragon fight that's happening in 20 seconds time.
I think that one, you just give it up.
Double slowed down. Deadly Flourish doesn't connect. Is now Kellen going to be the target one more time? Canyon is just a raid boss in this game. It's kind of impossible to do anything to him as Ruler with just a cheeky shot just nabs his 3rd kill of the game. And Chovy has the item. By the way, as Diablo, still tagged by the quickness there. As, okay, Clear looking to make his way over and picks up Ruler. They might be able to turn it into a kill onto him, but Raptor is already dead. Diablo, can you get the damage down as he sidesteps and Dura gets killed by Baron? Oh no! Still, Chovy shows up, and this guy has an entire bank worth of funds that he just throws at the Ezreal, and he dies. 6-0-3 now for Chovy.
Yeah, Actualizer doing some stuff here, just completely explodes BNK FEARX. I think this one is feeling a little bit done and dusted.
Oh, there goes the perfect weak Orcs.
Yeah, I think he had to shockwave as they arrived. Like, you have to preempt it. Because as soon as champions like Xin Zhao and Rakan get a chance to move, you kind of just cooked. And here, yeah, Canyon is just very tanky.
He is.
I actually think the fact that they got the Baron involved kind of backfired here a little bit because he was contributing to the fight. He was using it to gap close so he could get to the Ezreal, and then he was flanking around and they just found the Kiana.
Yeah.
But I think the Baron was maybe...
The Baron then does kill Duro though.
Yeah.
Which is quite funny. Yeah. Yeah, Baron certainly MVP of that last fight.
But even with the Baron, still not enough for BNK FEARX. And Chovy's just so bulky.
Duro also just survives. Supreme Display of Talent is not enough to take down the Rakan. As Chovy just kills a dragon. That is going to be 2nd for Gen.G, evening out the Drake count between these two squads. Still some fight in BNK, absolutely. They're only 1,000 gold behind, and it's 24 minutes into the game. The problem is, this Actualizer Rise at 6-0-3, wielded by Chovy, is 4,000 gold ahead.
Look, I know you're not convinced by the Kiana, right?
Yes.
But imagine, okay, if you're in a situation where the players didn't have voice comms with each other.
Got it.
And the second the Kiana ulted the Jhin, he started typing in chat at his jungler and saying, what are you doing? Why aren't you ganking me? And then as the Kiana ran around the map killing people, the typing got more intensive and they stopped focusing on the game. Then couldn't you see the value of the pick?
Absolutely.
Yeah, so maybe that's what it needs to work.
Well, this turret doesn't work anymore because it's just taken out. Wind becomes lightning there from Canyon. Goes down to 50% as Gen.G get all 5 members here. As Raptor slinks into stealth as Keen is just now looking for the bottom side. Clear with teleport at the ready.
I do want to note that Chovy's 3 levels up on Vikler, and Canyon is 2 levels up on Raptor.
Canyon going to get delivered alongside Chovy as Supreme Display of Talent comes down, and Canyon is just dead. Mega Cone to split up absolutely everyone, and Clear dives into the fight. Chovy able to take down the Leona, but the public execution to pick him up Diablo from over the wall, but Clear is just dead, and Chovy goes golden. Keen able to tank it out, but it is going to be the kill there for Vikler, and they will be able to take him out there as now Diablo looking a little worse for wear. Deadly Flourish, good sidestep. And it is 3 for 2 in favor of Gen.G in the end.
I think Chovy's just too strong.
Chovy is a bit of a problem, is he not?
I think he's just, I don't think he dies. I don't know how you kill him. Like, they killed Canyon because they just CC'd him before he ulted, but Chovy doesn't have that problem. Yeah, I think Canyon maybe had to pre-ult before they went under him, but they kind of just layered the CC and blew him up. And then Chovy just walks about like, oh, you guys have no CC left? Cool.
Yeah.
I'm going to just actualize all over you.
He just kind of walked at them and then gets the Seraph Shield and goes golden. And that means the Keen can then utilize the fact that they were distracted by an incredibly fed Rise to do some Gwen things on the back of the fight. Still does go down. BNK are able to at least trade 2 back, but
I mean,
still
it's not
a 1-5 Gen.G.
It's not the worst trade, right, in terms of kills, but it just isn't resolving their issues.
No.
And like, there isn't even that much of a gold lead. That's where I'm seeing the issue.
Well, Raptor is dead.
It's like the goal difference isn't that crazy. We've seen bigger goal leads, but it just... The tempo vibes are so off.
Yeah, they really are.
They're so off right now.
Man, I just keep thinking to myself, and I'm sorry to bring this up again, I just keep thinking that Qiyana could be any other jungler.
Yeah.
Nocturne was available, guys.
Nocturne was available.
Well, Baron is not going to be available for much longer. Down to 7,000 right now as BNK looking to make their way in. There is no smite available, as now can clear, find the ulti. Kellen's so dead. But the Baron, they're just going to move back to it, and that one is just going to belong to Gen.G here. BNK not wanting to throw the game at this moment.
Yeah, I raised a point in draft. One of the issues with Rise is that you really want your core 3 items, and the problem is it's awkward to split.
What about the core 4 items?
It's awkward to slot Zhonya's in there before those 3 items are completed. But that problem's solved by just being monumentally fed.
And
that's what Chovy.
So just buy 2 third items at the same time. Is that what?
Yes, that is what Chovy's opted to do.
That is such a smart move.
Yeah, he's because as you can see, Vikla hasn't even bought 1 third item.
Yeah. Yeah, no, he's bought half a third item, which is not what he should have done. He should have bought 2.
Yeah, so, you know, something to learn from, something to pick up for in the future.
Yeah.
You know what else is crazy is the fact that, I mean, I know he gets the extra level from the Rod of Ages, but Chovy's out-leveled both the top laners to have the XP quests.
That is kind of absurd. All right, Supreme Display Talent is... I didn't see it, unfortunately. Diablo's health bar is also missing.
I feel like
he's going to have to go back to the fountain.
It's a little insulting to call it its full name when it just misses.
I know, but it is called its full name, and that's Riot's fault, okay? It's not mine. It's the same as when Akali messes up, and that doesn't quite work either. As Gen.G going to break over the base in the mid lane, guaranteed, but can they also get the bottom side of the map as well, as Keen pushing that one forward. Duro makes his way over. First inhibitor will be falling down. This game is very quickly spiraling out of control, if it's not already just gone. Dissonance doing a little bit of work there as Deadly Flourish to hold on to Kellen. He's died 7 times this game, though. It hasn't been a good time.
7 times so far.
So far. Thankfully, his scoreline is in that order, as Gen.G, they might just grab themselves a dragon because it's there, and then spend their buckets of cash.
Yeah, a lot of towers picked up, and they did make inhibitor towers with more money on the new season, so they are very wealthy.
They are certainly quite well off. All right, Keen moving up towards his top side of the map, as Clear might be finding him here.
We also have the Serpent's Fang coming out from Ruler. So obviously a lot of shields on Clear and from the Orianna. And I guess Diablo has barrier, so...
Yep. Some things that he can make use of it with. As Raptor, he found his opportunity in the shop. Hasn't found the opportunity to do winning in the game just yet.
Yep.
I am clutching at straws. It's the perfect week.
Is there a lethality item called Destroy Enemy Nexus? You should find that one.
He should definitely find that one. That would be a really good one.
He should have bought that one instead.
We can guarantee that he has not bought that.
Is there a
Caulfield's Warhammer instead?
Is there
I don't think that means anything about it.
That's a good one too.
All right. Gen.G now looking for the last inhibitor that's left up on this map. As Ruler just taking pot shots where he can find them. Keen and Chovy pushing the rest of these waves in. BNK getting stretched a little bit too thin to make this one work. Super minions are getting cleared out relatively well with the help of this Orianna. And without Baron, it's a little bit harder for Gen.G to get this siege to work, but they are still closing in. BNK going to be forced to engage. And Canyon so hard to deal with. Kellen will be able to find him with that Solar Flare, and the ulti is not doing the most damage, or sorry, getting the most value here for Canyon. As Shockwave going to connect onto Chovy, can they actually kill him? No. As easy, just going to kill Diablo instead. He gets thrown back by the Supreme Display of Talent. Needlework almost kills Diablo. He needs to get to the fountain as Vikla is just taken out, and the public execution is not going to land there from Clear. Still, he gets himself into relative safety underneath these Nexus turrets. As Chovy looking a little worse for wear. These health bars looking better on the side of BNK than they would have otherwise been. Is now clear, getting cut down where he stands. Diablo trying to get the damage in, but it is not enough. And Canyon will be able to shut him down. Just not enough damage for BNK. And Gen.G are looking to remain undefeated here in the LCK Cup, even if Game 1 was silly. This one was a little one-sided, and Gen.G demonstrating that they are still on Korean soil, and they're looking pretty good.
And you know, I was thinking about the fact of a perfect week, and I